defining moment. The universe emerged out of nothingness like a bright idea, and so has each one of us. Born into this world unique and gifted. A masterpiece cast like never before and never after. A magnificent work of art, and each one of us an artist too, eager to paint the canvas of life. Remember as a child, you woke up each morning full of wonderful ideas and dreams. Dreams where everything was possible. You wanted to change the world, and you believed that you could. Believed in superheroes, and believed you could be one. And then it all slowly slipped away. But that does not mean that superheroes do not exist. These heroes stepped out of nothingness into greatness. They were ordinary folks who wanted to make a difference, who believed in their dreams. They were just like you and me, except where everyone else saw the rubble, they saw a palace standing. And when everyone else was enveloped with the darkness of self-doubt, they saw light within.
I am Simerjeet Singh, and I believe that the same light flickers in you and in me. I also believe that you have everything you need to reach the pinnacle of your success. And I'm here to tell you that the only person standing between you and your success, between you and your dreams, is you. And it can all change in the moment the voice inside you says, yes, I can. Yes, I can live with passion and purpose. Yes, I can lead. Yes, I can make a difference. I am the artist and the world is my canvas. I am the superhero I once believed in as a child. And that defining moment is now.
Well, hello and good afternoon. I hope you're all doing well. Just tell me, where in the world are you logging in from? In the comments section. First of all, I'd like to say hi to people who are joining in. Anisha Bhardwaj, Bittu Agarwal, Karishma, Amisha Mishra, Sushant, Farooq, and everybody else who's joining in on multiple platforms. The stream is live as we speak on YouTube to our subscriber base of 1.3 million, on LinkedIn, on Facebook, and also on Twitter. So choose your medium, whatever is convenient to you, and let us know where you are signing in from so I can say hello to you. Rainas from Bhilai, Chhattisgarh, Anisha from Meerut, Vishal Pandey from Dubai, and we have Tejaswini again joining in, Gayatri, Ushaji from Mumbai. How are you, Ushaji? It's good to see you. I hope you're doing well. Akib Khan from Meerut, UP. And we have Shashank Kumar Gupta from India, Prasanjit. So I do apologize in advance if I cannot name all of you, just because of the volume of the comments is way too high. But I did want to take this opportunity to have a virtual meet and greet with every single one of you, just to say hi, just to check on how you're doing, and to share some of my recent life observations, and also your questions towards the end. If you might have any, get your questions ready. I'll do my best to answer them on this live feed. Lochan Sharma from Rajasthan, Abida from Pakistan, Sandhya from Hyderabad, and this is great. People from all corners of the world. Satish Singh from Bihar, and DCG Snehil from Indore, Kailash Kumar, Rajat Jain ji from Delhi. I hope you're doing well. First of all, that you and your loved ones are safe during this very difficult time. And I also am very optimistic. I feel that the worst is behind us now, that we are gradually moving towards normalcy. But I say a prayer for every single one who might be suffering from COVID right now, or if any of your family members are suffering from COVID, my prayers are with you for a speedy recovery. It's been a very tough time, but I believe we shall overcome. Padiseti Prashant from Chandigarh, India. How are things in Chandigarh, my friend? Prajit Pokhral from Nepal, Gayatri Singh from UP, Kriti Tomar from Ahmedabad, AK from Himachal, and I repeat again, Jamshed Javed from Pakistan. I say once again, I do apologize in advance if by chance I am not able to give a shout out to you. Already questions have started pouring in. Farooq Khan on how to improve your public speaking skills. So Farooq, this Saturday we will be releasing one of our most exhaustive, in-depth videos on mastering public speaking, and that is with a wonderful lady from the UK. Her name is Maz Ifsal. So Maz, if you hear this now or later, here's a round of applause for Maz. Maz Ifsal from the UK took out almost 45 minutes to 1 hour of her time to share with our viewers the powerful tips and the mindset behind impactful public speaking, and that video will be released this Saturday. Okay, so make sure you guys tune in to the live series, which is a beginner's mindset. Now, hi Mangesh and Smriti and Afan Rauf from Pakistan. Now guys, tell me, have any of you watched one of the recent episodes of the Beginner's Mind interviews? Many of you know we've been trying to bring in experts from all different fields. Give me a thumbs up in the comments section if you've seen one of those interviews, and tell me which one did you like the most. Okay, we have buffering from Kailash Kumar. I hope the live stream is okay for the rest of you. Give me a thumbs up if you've watched one of the recent episodes of the Beginner's Mind series. Okay, Anisha says yes. Shrikant, yes. Good. Now, we usually release this on Tuesdays and Fridays. You will get advanced notifications, but we've had the opportunity of speaking to some wonderful people in the recent past about their experiences, and Prasenjit says he watched it yesterday. And if there are people you feel we should be bringing onto the Beginner's Mind show, please put it in the comments section. My team will do their very best to invite them. Kirti Tomar says yes. A Deepti wala interview Akib Khan ne suna hai, which is wonderful. Great. And so yes, public speaking, as I said earlier, this Saturday, one of our most in-depth, exhaustive 1 hour videos coming from an expert who's a subject matter expert in the field. So stay tuned this Saturday, guys. Now, Anil says, thanks from the bottom of my heart. That's lovely. Anil, I give you a virtual hug, my friend, and Satish and all others. Do you know, on the days that I'm feeling really low, this is what I do. I go to my YouTube comment section, and all the love and affection that you give me in the YouTube videos, on the LinkedIn posts, on Facebook and on Twitter, it lifts me up. It lifts me up. It makes me feel better. So thank you for taking out the time to comment on our videos, to share our videos, to make them, many of them, go viral worldwide across WhatsApp. Two of the viral videos recently, one was the Mother Teresa Anyway poem, which was viral. The second one was Have You Earned Your Tomorrow, which was again viral. So thank you all. It's all courtesy to you guys that these videos go viral across the world, whether it's on WhatsApp. And thank you also for sharing your love and your affection and your encouraging words in the comments. It means a lot to me. Karishma says, you are amazing. Kulraj Singh, you are my inspiration. Thank you all very much. You guys are my inspiration. On the days that I'm not feeling very good about life, or I feel a little low, I just have to remind myself of my mission, Mangesh, and that's the answer to your question. How do you become a good motivational speaker? You've got to remind yourself of your mission frequently. So the day that I'm feeling not in top shape, I just remind myself of my mission, and my mission is I'm here to help you, I'm here to serve you, I'm here to share whatever I've learned along the way to all of you guys. So, before I take your questions, hi Emma, all the way from Arizona, United States, and you are most welcome. And I appreciate your comments and your feedback. How are things in Arizona? I hope everybody's vaccinated and things are getting back to normal. And so I hope all you guys listening, get your vaccines as soon as you can, guys. As soon as you can, both of them. Don't procrastinate this. Don't underestimate this. You're not a superhero, okay? Do it for yourself and your family members and for the safety of everyone else. Yeah, I bet Arizona is going to be very hot during this time of the year. Hot and dry, and that's what I liked about Arizona summers. I don't know, many of you, whether you know this or not, I lived in Arizona. Scottsdale was my home for a good about 14 months. Scottsdale, Arizona. And I used to work for a property there, which is now the JW Camelback Inn Marriott Resort. And that was one of my first jobs straight out of hotel school. So yeah, I have a strong Arizona connection. I love it. Ishita Joshi, lots of love and inspiration. Thank you so much. And Satish Singh. Okay, guys. And Moses Colin. Moses, welcome to the show. You were very active the other day when we were interviewing, I think it was Mark Stewart during that video. I appreciate you taking out the time to share your nuggets of wisdom. Bittu Agarwal, can you recite one motivational poem? Yes, Bittu, I have that on the list and I will share a poem with you guys. Kanan, surprised I stayed a year in Arizona too. Wow, a lot of Arizona folks out here today. Fantastic. We rock. Ramneek Kalra, great to see you back. Well, I've been around here. I was in little hibernation. We had loads of work to do in order to move to this new medium of interacting with you guys, which is the virtual medium. I miss our real meet and greets. I don't know how many of you, if you ever participated in a real meet and greet with me, just give me a thumbs up in the comment section if you ever been in one of those. Okay, I hear that from my team that there is some issue with the live feed, so we will just reduce the video quality a little bit, which I cannot do right now while I'm live, so you'll have to bear with it. All right. Hi Tushar and Raju, etc., and everybody who's joining in. Great. Pandemic mantra. I will share with you what my pandemic mantra is, how I've kept myself on track during this very difficult time. Okay, great. So, 5 life lessons I wanted to share with you before I take your questions. Thank you for the compliment, Pranay. 5 life lessons based on my recent observations that I wanted to share with you from the last 2 weeks, observations from the last 2 weeks. 5 observations, 5 tips to lead a better life. If you're ready, type in "I'm ready" in the comment section. If you're ready for these 5 tips. Okay. Rocky says, "Sach batao, aapne suit ke niche shorts pehne." In other words, Rocky wants to know if I'm wearing shorts underneath my suit. And that is just not true, Rocky. I'm wearing a I'm wearing a pair of jeans under this suit. No. And I know that's a lot of Zoom stuff going on today these days, is you wear a suit and a pair of shorts underneath it. Okay, great. Preeti Srivastava on Twitter, fantastic. Thank you for joining us, Preeti. I appreciate all the love and affection and support on Twitter from you. Okay, if you're ready, fantastic. Let's do this. Number 1. Do things before you're fully prepared. That is my number 1. And here's what I want you to do as you understand and absorb my simple 5 philosophies based on my observations lately. Please type them in the comments section, okay? So I know that you've understood. Number 1 is do things before you are fully prepared. That's life lesson number 1 based on my recent observations. Do things in life before you're ready, okay? Now, here's the challenge. Because perfection is a disease. And you will never, if you're chasing perfection, you will never, ever be fully ready. You will never, ever be fully ready to press the live button on your Facebook or publish that blog or write the first chapter of your book or send that email or whatever it happens to be. So here's my first message to you. Do things before you are fully prepared, right? Because that's how you're going to be ready for that final launch. If you wait to be fully prepared, you'll probably never ever do that thing. Okay? Is this making sense? This is how this live feed is possible today. Our team, and including myself, we were not fully prepared for this live interaction today. But just around 1 o'clock, we thought, it's been a while since we said hello to everybody on through a live video. Let's do that today. So none of us were fully prepared. But anyway, what happened? Something magical happened. We set the 3:15 according to the Indian Standard Time. We set the live broadcast for 3:15 p.m. IST. And guess what happened? From 1 to 3 o'clock, we were fully focused. We were fully focused to make this happen and fully energized. When you have a mission, a goal, a deadline right in front of you, you suddenly become a different person altogether. So here's what I'm trying to say to you is don't wait for others to set deadlines for you. Learn to set deadlines for yourself. And how do you do that? You do it by committing to action before you're fully prepared. Because if you fall into this trap of being fully prepared, you are never going to be fully ready, and therefore you will not launch some of the best works that might be inside you. The famous Indian poet Rabindranath Tagore, he said it beautifully. Spring has passed, summer has gone, winter is here. Spring has passed, summer has gone, winter is here, and the song that I wanted to sing remains unsung because I have spent my days stringing and unstringing my instrument. The song that I wanted to sing remains unsung because I have spent my days stringing and unstringing my instrument. Don't spend your day stringing and unstringing your instruments. Getting ready, do it, commit to action. So that was number one. If you understood number one, here's what I would like you to do. I would like you to type in the comment section my life lesson number one, which is do things before you are fully prepared. Let me read that and we'll move to next to point number two. Do things before you're fully prepared. Thank you, Preeti. That was number one. I'll move on to number two. Do something daily that pushes you outside your comfort zone. Okay? That's number one was do something in life before you're fully prepared. Number two is do something every day that pushes you outside your comfort zone. For example, let me give you a situation. Let me say that randomly right now, we're going to invite one person out of everyone who's watching this live. We're going to invite 3 people to switch on their cameras and join us on this live feed, like Mr. Mohan Shetty or Shruti Tandon Mehra or Preeti Srivastav or Rana or Jaspreet or Manmohan Sharma. Let's say I ask one of you to switch on your cameras right now and join me in the interview mode on this software on this live feed. Did you see your heart racing a little bit faster for a couple of seconds there? Did you? Give me a thumbs up if that happened for you. If your heart was beating a little bit faster for a couple of seconds, oh my God, is it going to be me joining Simerjeet on this live feed? I'm not prepared, right? If you felt your heart racing a little bit faster, you've experienced a little push outside your comfort zone. You've experienced a little nudge outside your comfort zone. And this is my input number 2. Commit to doing something every day which pushes you outside your comfort zone. This was number 2. Okay? And in fact, there's a wonderful book that I've been reading. This is called, I don't know if you can see it, The War of Art. Now, it was the Chinese philosopher Sun Tzu, I believe he wrote The Art of War, but this is a different book. It's called The War of Art. It's by this gentleman called Stephen Pressfield. I've quoted this book very often. I've recommended it to you. It's one of my best go-to manuals every now and then about execution. Very powerful. And I would like to read for you a couple of wonderful lines from this book. Number 1 is, Stephen Pressfield writes, the danger is greatest when the finish line is in sight. And that is very powerful. The danger is greatest when the finish line is in sight. That means people usually give up when they are about to experience success. We'll talk about this too, but I think profound words on execution coming from this book. And this is what is very interesting in the context of what I'm talking. So my number 1 was, do things before you're fully prepared. Number 2 was, do something daily that pushes you outside your comfort zone. And this is what Stephen writes that resonates with me. He says, it's not the writing part that's hard. What's hard is sitting down to write. It is not the writing part that is hard. What is hard is sitting down to write. It is not publishing your book that is hard. It is what is hard is sending out your manuscript. So it's not the actual thing that is difficult. It's our commitment to do it. When we lack commitment, we don't make things happen. So this is a way of improving your daily output, is to commit to doing something that pushes you a little bit outside your comfort zone. Go make that phone call. Go send that LinkedIn request. Go publish that video. Go do that thing that is making you uncomfortable, because that's how you will grow. Number 3. You ready for number 3? Let me know if you're ready for number 3. My life lesson number 3, based on some recent observations. Number 3. Ishita says, this is really challenging. Would you care to tell me, Ishita, what is challenging? Pushing yourself outside the comfort zone every day? No, it's not. It becomes a habit. You enjoy doing this. Thank you, Preeti, for sharing this. She's writing the takeaway number 2. Commit to doing something every day that pushes you outside your comfort zone. Fantastic. Let's move on. Let's move on to number 3. And my number 3 is this. Celebrate small victories. There you go, guys. Number 3. Very simple. These are all very simple, very practical things that I've picked up from recent observations. This is number 3. Celebrate small victories. Give yourselves a round of applause and say, everybody do it with me. Let's do this. Take a deep breath in. Inhale. And just think of the 1 or 2 or 3 good things that you've done in the month of May. We've just entered June. Let's do this together. Think of 3 good things that you did in the month of June that you can be proud of. Anything, small or big. You ready? Take a deep breath in. Inhale. Think of those 3 things, preferably small things that you achieved in the month of May. And do this. Inhale once again. And now pat yourself on the back and say, I'm so proud of you. Do it now. Say, yes, I'm proud of you. Fantastic. This was number 3. Celebrate small victories, right? Honor yourself for your small achievements and, have a celebration with your team also, right? Hello, Royal Jetty. Good afternoon and welcome, right? Bittu Agarwal ji. No, you haven't wasted 6 months. Come on. No, that's a pessimistic way to look at it. No. So, number 3, celebrate small victories. Honor yourself for the small victories that you're making, right? And celebrate small victories with your team also. This is what we've been doing here during this lockdown. Team Simerjeet, this is what we do. Whatever small achievement we make, we get together. We just maybe, buy a bottle of Coke or something and get some disposable glasses and we raise a toast. Okay, right? It's just like, wow, fantastic. We did this. It's just a little way to acknowledge yourself and others that we are making progress. And human beings, we love progress. Good afternoon, Rajesh Chauhanji. It's nice to have you on this live feed. Amrita, Kamarpreet. Now, we love progress, right? Give me a thumbs up in the comment section if you are somebody who loves progress, regardless whether it's big or small. In fact, research studies have pointed out that on the day that we're feeling really good about ourselves, on those days, we have experienced some amount of progress. The day even you make, thanks Maninder, Kishan, Ruma, Saurabh, and everybody else, Raina, right? On the day we make even a little bit of progress, we feel good about ourselves. We don't feel sad. We don't feel pessimistic. We feel good about ourselves, about the future. Adrija ji, you're welcome to the live feed. We feel good about it, even if we're making a little bit of progress, right? A Harvard study, there's even a book at Harvard Business School. It's called The Progress Principle. Now, I haven't read the book, but I do know the central idea behind the book is human beings are able to have good days, are able to feel emotionally happy, and they're able to experience positive emotions when they are experiencing progress, right? Now here, this is about progress. We all know we're not going to achieve breakthrough progress every day. You're not going to lose 10 kilos or 10 pounds every day. God forbid that happens. That's dangerous. It should not be happening. That's a lot of weight to lose in a single day. You're not going to sign $1 million contracts at your company every day. You're not going to make huge accomplishments every day. That'll happen once in a month, twice a month, etc. But what can happen on an everyday is small amounts of progress. Small amounts, tiny little steps forward. So if you experience a tiny step forward, pat yourself on the back and say, well done, I'm so proud of you. And this is, if your team is experiencing progress, give them a high five and tell them, yes, we're making progress together, right? So these are the small things which we often overlook. How's my eye contact in today's live stream, by the way? If you feel that I'm making eye contact with you while reading your comments, give me a thumbs up. And I'll tell you a little story about it. Thanks, Moses. If you feel that I'm looking directly into the screen and at the same time reading your comments, give me a thumbs up. And I'll tell you a little interesting story behind this. Thanks. Now, this was a challenge we were facing during virtual presentations. Now, I have my large screen here, and we've got the camera over there. If I look at the screen to read your comments, I lose eye contact with you, okay? Preeti says, my students admire you a lot, and one of them has joined here right now, Dhruv Patil from class 12. Well, welcome Dhruv, and thank you Preeti ji. So let's get back to this little challenge. So if I would be reading my comments, I would lose eye contact with you. And if I would be making eye contact with you, I could not read your comments. So the team spent a lot of time trying to find a way so I can look directly into the camera and read your comments without losing eye contact at all. Now, this was tough. It's a small challenge, we could have easily ignored, but we wanted to improve every single aspect of our virtual streaming. So we had a little breakthrough. We found a solution. It was a software and hardware component. We had to import the the hardware component from the US. We ordered it via FedEx expedited delivery. It landed here. We started using it. And this was a wow moment for everybody in the team. Now, it was not a huge challenge. I mean, the camera was working. Everything else was working. But the fact that we were able to overcome this small challenge, everybody felt good. So this is my number 3, celebrate small wins. In other words, take a deep breath in, inhale, and say, I commit to making some progress every day. Say it out loud, and you can type it in the chat box. I commit to making some progress every day. Make a little progress every day on some of your most important goals, whatever they happen to be. Your health and fitness, your relationships, your reading, your knowledge, right? Type it in the chat box so I know you're with me on this. I commit to making progress every day. That's the progress principle, and that was my life lesson number 3, which is celebrating small wins. If you're still with me and ready for number 4, give me a thumbs up in the comment section. If you're ready for number 4, my input lesson number 4. Thanks, Monica. Manmohan Sharma ji, I commit to making progress every day. Preeti, thank you. Maninder Sohal, commit to making progress every day. Seema Mishra ji, it's good to have you. Thank you. Yes, fantastic. It's good to know you guys are with me. Let's move on to number 4 without wasting any time at all. Number 4 is start your day on a positive, strong note. This is really simple, yet we often overlook it. Okay, is how to start your day. I've interviewed close to 25 people so far on the Beginner's Mind series, more than 25. The one thing that I found common among all these peak performers is they have a daily ritual to kickstart their day, right? Let me know, how do you kickstart your day every day in the comment section? How do you start your day? What's the first thing that you do, even while you're in the bed? What's the first thing that you do? Do you have a ritual? Do you do some visualization, or do you pick up the phone and check your notifications? Let me know in the comment section, how do you start your day? I want to know this very quickly before we move on. How do you start your day? Rocky Sharma, cup of tea. That's nice. So that's for your stomach. The tea is for your body. What, do you do anything for the soul? Do you do anything for the mind? Or is it default? How do you start your day, guys? Emma says she meditates for 15 to 30 minutes. Sandeep chants on Vaheguru Ji. Cup of tea for Ratan. Wearing clothes for Banzo. Fantastic, Rao. Prayer to God, gratitude, visualization, newspaper. No. Don't. Okay, this is what I'm going to talk about now. Newspapers and WhatsApp notifications and other things. These are things you should be careful. We'll talk about that in a second. And affirmations, meditation. Okay, you don't have to say things just to impress me, guys, right? We don't have to impress anyone. Just be brutally honest. Lazina Ahmed says morning prayer is a must. get up early and do meditation. I speak up Gayatri Mantra as soon as I wake up. That's Preeti ji. Fantastic. Now, this is scrolling phone. We have one honest person here. Now, this is what billions of dollars are being spent right now. Mohan Shetty ji says he picks up the calendar, sees what's happening on that day, or to see whom to wish happy birthday, which is great. But the first thing to do in the morning, stay with me guys, billions of dollars are being spent right now so that you experience something that psychologists call FOMO. I'm sure a lot of you must be familiar with FOMO, fear of missing out, right? Then there's another term that psychologists use. It is called nomophobia, right? Nomophobia. Have you heard about nomophobia? Nomophobia is no mobile phone phobia. It is the anxiety that you experience when you don't have access to your mobile phones. That's how addicted we've become to these devices. And I don't blame you. I don't blame me. There's billions of dollars being spent in research to ensure that we experience FOMO, that we experience fear of missing out, that we wake up in the morning and we say, oh my God, I got to check my WhatsApp, what's happening in the world. I've got to check Twitter, I've got to check YouTube, I've got to check Instagram, and I posted that photo yesterday. I want to see how many likes, how many comments, etc. I was having that virtual argument yesterday. I was having a virtual argument yesterday. I want to see who won the argument. Don't get into virtual arguments. This person you are arguing on the different part of the world behind some screen somewhere would not have the courage to argue with you in real life. So just ignore it. But let me come back to the point. Picking up your phone first thing in the morning to check notifications is perhaps the worst way to start your day. Here's why. Picking up your phone and playing your favorite piece of music so you can start doing your gratitude while you're still in bed is a great way to start the day. Now, the same piece of equipment, I'm still using my phone in the morning, but I'm controlling my urge. I'm controlling my urge to not check notifications. I probably have it on the Wi-Fi, on the do not disturb mode, and I'll play my favorite piece of music so I can start doing my gratitude while I'm still in bed. So you've got to figure out what works for you, but starting your day well is one of the best things you can do during this very difficult time of lockdowns and of COVID-19 and the fear about it. So start your day well. I had a question from this gentleman. What about newspapers? I do not pick up newspapers first thing in the morning. Don't do it, because newspapers sell on what psychologists call the negativity bias. It's only going to catch your attention if it's major negative news. That's what this gentleman says. So if it's major negative news, it makes to the front page. So please resist the temptation of picking up the newspaper the first thing in the morning, because you won't feel very good after reading that. In case if I do happen to pick it up, this is what I do. I just rub my hand over the paper if it's a graphic image that I would not like to see, or if it's disturbing. I just send my blessings to that incident. But don't allow what's happened in the world to influence you, especially during the first half of the day, guys. Come on, there is so much you have to achieve in that day. There is so much you have to achieve, right? You've got to achieve so much. There are so many things you must do. And I got a little carried away and my mic was jumping. Fantastic. So, time to come to number 5, but before that, a full recap. Number 1, do things before you're ready for them. Number 2, do something every day which pushes you outside your comfort zone. Number 3, celebrate small victories. Number 4, start your day well. Okay, Tanvi's joined us. Hi, Tanvi. And she says, ha ha ha, nomophobia was epic, Simerjeet. Incidentally, I feel absolutely liberated when I don't have phone or I'm in a no Wi-Fi zone. And guess what? People are paying money, big money, to go to resorts for a digital detox. Talk about the times we are living in. We are now ready to pay money to be away from our mobile phones. And we call this fancy new trend a digital detox. Wow. So on one side, we do not have the self-discipline to stay away from the technology. On the other side, we're now paying our hard-earned money to stay away from this, right? So it's all about self-discipline, guys. Number 4 was starting your day well. Number 5, it's okay to rest, my friends, but don't quit. Number 5 is rest. Take breaks. recuperate. Find the time to recharge yourself, but don't quit. There is rest, but don't quit. I want to see if I can play that video for you, which is the rest but don't quit. We recorded that poem some time back. Let me see if I have it here in this particular computer. No, sorry, I don't, but we will share, my team will share the link for that poem with you guys. Rest but don't quit. This is my input number 5. I was hoping I could play that video for you, but unfortunately we do not have access to that. And so yeah, those were my top 5 inputs on how to improve the quality of your life. I just want to lay a little bit more emphasis on number 5. It's okay to rest. Okay, if you're a peak performer, you are used to achieving a lot, and there's no shame in taking a break. There is no shame in taking out time to look after yourself. The Buddhists, they say in the Zen philosophy, only a cup that is overflowing can fill others up. So you have to be someone whose cup is overflowing, because only then will you be able to help other people. In fact, I usually talk about being a lifter. And what I mean by being a lifter is being somebody who can make a difference in the moods, in the lives of other people. And you can only be a lifter if you've looked after yourself. So I want to play this short poem for you because I promised it. And this is called the leaner or lifter. We have these 2 choices. The world can be divided into 2 categories, lifters or leaners. And I want every single one of you who's listening right now, I want you to be a lifter, because the world already has too many leaners. You must commit to becoming a lifter. That's how your life will change, and that's how the world will become a better place.
Friends, this poem is called Which Are You? By American author and poet Ella Wheeler Wilcox. Her poems are full of sentiments of cheer and optimism in plainly written rhyming verse. I love the simplicity and the depth of her writing. This particular poem beautifully, poetically builds up to a very important question, one that I feel we must all ask ourselves. Which category do I belong to? Which are you? There are 2 kinds of people on earth today. There are 2 kinds of people on earth today. Just 2 kinds of people, no more I say. Not the sinner and saint, for it's well understood, the good are half bad, and the bad are half good. Not the rich and the poor, for to rate a man's wealth, you must first know the state of his conscience and health. Not the humble and proud. Not the humble and proud, for in life's little span, who puts on vain airs is not counted a man. Not the happy and sad. Not the happy and sad, for the swift flying years bring each man his laughter and each man his tears. Know the 2 kinds of people on earth I mean. Know the 2 kinds of people on earth I mean are the people who lift and the people who lean. Are the people who lift and the people who lean. Wherever you go, you will find the earth's masses. Wherever you go, you will find the earth's masses are always divided in just these 2 classes. And oddly enough, you will find 2, I ween. There's only one lifter. There's only one lifter to 20 who lean. In which class are you? In which class are you? Are you easing the load of overtaxed lifters who toil down the road? Or are you a leaner who lets others share your portion of labor, worry, and care? Ella Wheeler Wilcox. Personally, I'd say, my friends, be a lifter. There's not much competition there. 2007 was the year that I committed to being a lifter, and my whole life changed completely. It was transformed. And by the way, you don't have to be a motivational speaker to be a lifter. Just start by becoming aware of how you're impacting other people. Start by asking yourself, do people feel better than before or worse than before after they spend time with me? It's that simple. If your presence, my friends, can lift someone's emotions by even a 1%, you, my friend, are a lifter. Welcome to the Lifters Club. We need to enroll more members because you know what? The Global Complainers Association is growing bigger every day. So there's great work to do. Be a lifter. And thank you for watching this video. Bye-bye.
Fantastic. I love this guy. You know, he pops up on my screen every now and then with some wonderful messages. I like him. I hope you like him too. Right, time to say bye-bye for now. But before we do that, I am looking forward to Hi Mandeep and Raina, Mudassir, Rakhi Sharma. Before we go, I would want you to share your single biggest takeaway from this live feed today. Okay? What is the number one thing that you have gained in the last 40 minutes that you've spent with me so far? What is the number one thing? Your number one takeaway. I shared my 5 lessons from my recent observations. Hi, Navreed. Thank you. Glad you like him too. Right. So your number one takeaway from this live session today, in the last 40 minutes, what is the number one thing, number one message that you're walking away with during this interaction? And then Prasanjit says he's decided to be a lifter from inside. Rakhi, positivity in every situation. Bittu Agarwal, be a lifter. Mohan Shetty, come out of your comfort zone every day. Anurag, rest but don't quit. Yes, rest but don't quit. Because some of your major goals will be long-term goals. You won't be able to achieve them in a single day. Therefore, it's okay to rest, recuperate, recharge, but don't quit. Priyanshu Arya, checking notification. I hope, Priyanshu, what you mean is to not check your phone notifications in the morning. Banzo Private Limited says to start before you're fully prepared. Moses, carry the positive energy from this program. Manmohan Sharma, to be a lifter. Nikhil says to be a learner. Daryl Glaze, hello Daryl, how are you? Be a lifter every day. It's good to have Daryl on this live feed, guys. And Daryl, I welcome you to this interaction. And also, guys, we had a wonderful virtual conversation with Daryl, which will be broadcasted shortly. And I love Daryl's energy, his precision, and the wisdom that he shares in that live feed. So make sure you've subscribed to our YouTube channel. The team will share the links, and also make sure, please, that you press the bell icon so that you don't miss any of these important virtual conversations that we're doing. Fantastic. Okay, we have time to take. Hi, Preshji, how are you? We have time to take maybe 2 questions before we say goodbye for the day. Naveen says, do your best anyway. Yeah, absolutely right. You will never have all the resources to do what you need to do. We have time to take 2 questions, guys. So if you have a question, especially related to what we talked about today, please share your questions with us in the comments section. Whatever social media platform you're joining from, it's okay. I can see them all. Mohanji, thank you for joining and sparing your valuable time. I appreciate that. Ankush Kumar, Paji, मैं क्या तुसी छा गए. Thank you from Pathankot. Love you, brother. बहुत धन्यवाद. Satish says, great. So I don't think you guys have any questions. It's been a wonderful interaction. Okay, Sakib, right at time before I was about to log off. Sakib says, when there is so much negativity, how can we still remain positive? How can we remain positive amid so much negativity around us? Sakib, it's all a game of focus. It's all a game of focus, my friends. Whatever you focus on expands. Like, I hope you can see my eye looking way bigger in this one. But remember playing with this magnifying glass when we were little kids, right? And burning newspapers and doing other things. So, staying positive, it's all a game of focus. Be very careful about what you focus on, right? When you focus on whatever's going wrong, suddenly your life will be full of all that information, the images, the feelings of, oh my God, everything is going wrong in the world. learn to focus on what is still working well. Okay? Take a deep breath every now and then. Inhale. Put some nice music on. Let me see if I can do that for you here. And think about what is working well in your life right now. You're able to join this live feed, and that is something to be grateful for right now, isn't it? Focus. Feeling good is a game of focus. Learn the mental discipline of focusing on what you want to expand in your life, and the mental discipline of ignoring whatever you don't want to focus on. That's my answer to your question. Hi, Gautam. Gautam says, what is my morning routine? I believe every successful leader like you has a morning discipline. Okay, now I spoke to Daryl, in fact, the other day. Daryl said, have a routine, but don't get stuck in a rut. And I love Daryl's words. So I do have a morning routine, but I'm not stuck in a rut, which means this. I keep experimenting with other things so that my routine does not feel monotonous. But it usually has some time for self-reflection. It usually has visualization. It usually has my morning cup of tea and being in nature, watering plants, physical activity, a combination of mind, body, soul, and intellect. I do not review my daily goals, etc., like many people do first thing in the morning. I leave that for when I walk into the office, and I do it towards the end of the day, so I don't have to do that all over again. That's some chunks of my morning routine there, Gautam. Thanks for asking. How to develop time management skills, etc., etc. So there are a lot of questions coming in. The last one, I'll just take the last one here, which is about time management. I believe time management is all about priorities, guys. This is my simple answer to this question. Time management is a game of priorities. Once you know your priorities, you know where your time is going, okay? Now, what happens sometimes we don't know what our priorities are, and subconsciously we are still wasting time on them. So what I want you to do is to become more aware of where you're investing your time, because where you're investing your time is a reflection of your priorities. Let's say, for example, somebody says, oh, it's very important to be active on social media all the time, right? Otherwise people forget that you exist. You must be posting on LinkedIn daily. You should do this, you should do that, right? It's a digital age. You must be active on social media all the time. For example, this is not my belief, some people have it. Now, if you have a subconscious belief like that subconsciously, without being aware about it, you will spend a lot of your time on your mobile phone, on your computer, on your gadgets, on social media. And therefore, you will have little time left for other things. You might not be aware about this, but at a subconscious level, this belief is there to be seen. I want to be seen. I want to be heard. I want to be out there. Uncover the subconscious drivers of your time. That's my message about time management. Your time management is being driven by your priorities, whether those priorities are in your awareness or at a subconscious level, they are still driving how you spend your time. So if you want to spend your time in better ways, know how you're currently spending it. That's number one. Be aware of how you're currently spending your time, and then figure out better priorities. I'm currently wasting. You have to free up some time in order to create the room for the extra things in your life. So fantastic. This has been a wonderful interaction. I wish you well. I wish all of you guys stay safe, look after yourself, and keep in touch. Fantastic. Wonderful interaction here today, and I thank you once again for joining. You guys are an amazing bunch of people. I send you loads of love. Take care. Bye-bye for now.